Hello, Gloucester Township. Thanks
How's it
for joining
going?
us on the Restore GT podcast. Today is April 16th.
Something like that, yeah, 16.
Man, it was tax day yesterday. I missed it. Good thing I went to sweet
I
taxes.
filed extensions,
I got
so-
mine done. I got mine done back in, I think, January or February.
Really?
February, yeah. So, in the clear there. We are covering, today's recap is going to be on the
I think it was April 10th was the last meeting.
April 10th council meeting.
Yeah.
I forget why I didn't make it to that council meeting.
You never make them anymore. I don't know what's going on with you.
Garage. I tore my garage apart.
Oh, okay.
And then
Makes
I
sense.
spent the day in bed, dude. I hurt myself so bad. I put a wall up.
Oh,
I put racks in the ceilings, and then I was in miserable pain, and I had to finish it that night too. So yeah, I missed that one. I watched it. I watched a bit that night.
It was a fairly quick one. It was an interesting one.
There was some stuff going on there. I don't think there was any no big presentations beforehand.
There was a small ceremony that kind of happened kind of in the middle, but we can probably go over that first, right? It was
Yeah. So the Gloucester Township Police, they got an accreditation from the State Association Chiefs of Police, I think it was.
Yeah, dispatch accreditation, is that what it was?
Yeah, it was the agency and the dispatch. They both at the same time. It was the first New Jersey agency to get both accreditations at the same time. Basically, what it is it's kind of an audit of our dispatch and our police. If you're familiar with like ISO certifications, if you do like manufacturing or something like that. It's kind of a certification, and it really just follows to make sure that we're doing our procedures properly.
It's an attaboy.
And it's an attaboy, but it also helps us reduce our insurance costs on the police.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure what that means. It could be like $3, when I say that. Like I remember years ago, if you have an alarm on your car, it reduces your rate, and you're like, it saved me 50 cents, thanks. But you could say that.
You dropped $1,500 on the alarm,
right?
ticket,
Yeah,
and you're like,
oh, okay, great.
Wow, I'm going to pay that off at 75 years.
Yeah,
the savings. But
we don't know what that means, but they did say that it reduced our insurance.
Yeah, congratulations to the chief and all of his people for getting that. It's good to know that. It's good to know we've had a third party source come in and check everything over and say that we're doing stuff good.
Yeah,
and this is Gloucester Township Police is pretty loved in the township. So it's good to hear that. It's good to hear behind the scenes.
Yeah,
everything's going well.
Not much bad you can say about them, and they're very well funded, and they do a great job. So.
Talk to me after I get a ticket. I'll have to change the story probably.
Yeah, but we did have somebody from Mulberry Station come down, and this gentleman, I forget his name, but he has been to several meetings that I've seen, and usually he's a year or two apart from seeing him at meetings, but he has the same request every time. He's Mulberry Station playground. He's been requesting that it be repaired. This was, if you go back maybe an episode or two, we had the picture of the slide that the township decided to use as gaff tape and then paint it tan to not see the hole in the
that wasn't
the slide.
Mulberry, was it?
Oh yeah, that's Mulberry.
That was Mulberry.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that guy's maybe he's a viewer.
He could be.
Maybe
I don't know.
maybe it just.
Yeah, but he had come to council meeting again, and he was wondering what's going on. He said that his son, when he came to the first meeting to ask about the decrepit PlayStation that they had, not PlayStation like Sony PlayStation, but you know what I mean, a playground. His son was in the 6th grade. His son is now graduated high school, so he no longer needs the playground. But he's wondering, is it going to happen now soon or?
That's man. We went over that one. Then we went over that one pretty quick. That really stuck with me because the guy probably initially came out because his 6th grader was at the playground, and he's like, "This isn't safe."
Right.
And now his 6th grader is driving. He's not going to the playground anymore.
He has a job. He builds playgrounds now as a.
And this, now Now the kid is it's not finished yet.
It's not finished.
It was just approved.
It didn't even start, Joe. It's in worse shape than it was before. But your premium services are at work here, and we will see
but
soon, within 6 to 8 weeks, even though he's been told this year after year after year.
Yeah, so, check his clip out.
I haven't been here in a while, so first off, I got a question for the playground, which we've been talking about for years for our neighborhood. We got notification that the grant got approved again. About the fifth time. Saying that we were actually going to get it in the next 6 weeks.
Oh, God.
And is there a truth to that we will be getting it?
Mr. Carlos? Yes, it's accurate. What happened was we initially awarded it to Little Tykes, and Little Tykes was given the award back in the summer of 22. They kept delaying, and finally we got fed up with them.
Okay.
No, finally.
I know we
After
started
6
this
years,
when my son was in
finally
6th
got
grade.
Don't know
Graduated
why.
high school last year.
Last year he graduated. I'm sorry. I thought it was this year he's graduating. No, he already graduated last year. Yeah, that's pathetic. They should be ashamed of themselves over that. That's insane. How long does it take really to get that? I don't know.
A playground. You would think. Look, if you would have told me, hey, could you build us a playground for $117,000? Yes, tomorrow.
117. That's probably a third of what it actually.
I'm pretty sure. I
thought it was like 3 something. I could be wrong, but I thought it was like 3 something that playground.
$300,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember from last year. I think the average that we were looking at, like every time a little small playground went in, it was like $117,000.
Okay.
And I just remember thinking like,
that
was way more than my first house.
I could figure out. I don't mold plastic, but I can guarantee I could figure out how to mold plastic, and then get metal welded and build one of those playgrounds for under that. That's insane.
I'm sure there's a YouTube video on how to build an entire playground. So
better than that.
$300,000.
Yeah.
$300,000.
I don't know if it was 300. I'm just saying. I thought it was closer to that. I could be.
I'll strap it to the roof of my car for $300,000, and deliver it and build it.
Yeah.
So
it's
that
nuts.
was.
But the same guy. It was interesting. Later in his few minutes that he had up there publicly speaking, he was praising council as well, and I wasn't 100% sure if it was sarcastic or not. Or if it was, genuine. I feel like he called out Dan Hutchison specifically, and I felt like that was definitely genuine. Like he said, you're the only one that's actually come out and, and saw our problems, asked us questions or whatever. I felt like that was genuine. But the rest of it, if you listen to what he says, it's like, I just really want to thank you for how you talk to us out here and how you treat us and all that. And it's just questionable of how.
Kind of like a thanks master for not beating us, kind of
deal.
Yeah,
thank you for not beating me. For asking for my playground to be fixed. It looks like a car drove through the slide.
Thanks for listening to me and not being a complete prick like usual. Yeah. That's
we have a clip of that. Yeah, we have a clip of that.
That's where we've gotten right now. We've gotten to. Wow, I went up there and talked to them, and they didn't berate
shoot
me this time. Yeah, this is.
I didn't get shot. I didn't even have to duck or anything.
They talked to me like I actually live here, and then I'm actually a taxpayer here. That's an amazing job they did this time.
Excellent job.
Check out his clip.
That's the bar that we've set down.
Had he not been the guy that's been coming for 6 years, I'd have been like, this is a total plant job.
Right.
Because Hutchison is running now.
Right.
He's running. He's going to leave us now and going to go and try to run for a state position. Right. And I was like, I would have sworn this guy was a plant just to say all of a sudden Dan's amazing.
It was set up. Yeah,
I would have thought it was a setup, but this guy's been coming for a long time, so not a setup.
Mr. Hutchinson, saw notice that you'll be running for assembly position. Good luck to you. Out of all the council that I've been up here visiting for 11 years, you're the only one who's actually came out and talked to me, at least in our neighborhood, about questions I brought up. And I really appreciate that.
Like that sounds
I wish you
genuine.
luck.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be able to talk to you more if you win or whatever. Like I said, I'm new to the area. I've been here 11 years or so, but I come from down south where we actually communicate no matter what party you are. And I just want to say thank you to all of y'all for how y'all have been talking to us out here, trying to keep it on par and everything. But Dan, I just really want to say I appreciate what you've done.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was. It's a weird.
Yeah,
The only reason that I question is because can you think of a time in the last few years that you've been going to these meetings that the way that they've been talking to people as a whole, as a collective, right, would lead to that kind of a response from him? I can't think of anything.
No, I look, I wouldn't ever be in a position to thank them for what they've done because there's
Well, they're a public
generally-
servant. They're supposed to be serving you
they're
anyway.
because they're public servants and it's what I expect. And it's a sacrifice that they make. You know, they're not getting paid this great amount of money to do this. They're getting $8,000 a year, basically, to go and kind of ask all these questions and show up at all these meetings. And we've criticized them for just showing up and voting yes on everything, but it's a sacrifice that they make to do public service. So I expect it, but yeah, I've never gotten. These guys are really good at this. They're really looking out for me.
I like the way they talk to me. I'm going to tell them that I like the way they. talk to me.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
So
See
it's a
that
weird. It
from-
was a weird comment. I don't know where that came from, but I was really taken back by it.
It really shows
Is that
when
sarcasm or not. I don't know.
when something else comes up. Say a warehouse that people show up that don't come out for anything. They've never been there before, and they come out and you hear the comments like, "I can't believe how you talk to these people."
Yeah.
When the new people,
that
when the new
gentleman
people
that
show
moved
up,
here from I forget where he was from, but he moved here and he asked the question afterwards, like, these people are elected. People actually elect them, and they voted them in.
yeah,
And you're like, yeah, that's how they do it every single week. You should hear it. And he's like, I
Yeah.
can't even believe this.
well, several people. I mean, we had, there was a gentleman that he came out for somebody building next to his property, and what he witnessed. He was like, something's got to change here, guys. This is crazy. And then he almost ran for council, but he had to back out at the last minute for some other issues. But
Oh, you're talking about Sal?
yeah, there was a guy named Sal
Right,
came
yeah.
out, and he had some concerns locally, and that's all he wanted to do. He just wanted to come in and ask some questions.
Right.
But then he was going, and then on the way out, he just had a lot to say to the rest of us that were there. And then we're like, oh, this happens every 2 weeks.
Oh, you must be new
It's
here.
always like that. Yeah, yeah.
You must be new here.
It's that phrase. It's that meme. First time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today's your first time? Okay.
It's yeah, and he was like, oh, this got to change. What can we do about this? And I was
Right.
like, yeah, we've tried to cover this before.
Yeah, like I can't even fathom someone that's been waiting this long, that's been fighting. This man, I think his name's Mr. Brown, I think it is, but has been fighting this long for a playground, asking in a very peaceful manner and everything else for all these years that he could actually have that nice thing to say about
From
it.
his kid, grade school to adult.
Right.
And he's
I mean, he
like,
threw that jab in there. That
He's like-
jab was in there.
things move slower down south. Maybe
Maybe.
a 7-year playground.
Yeah.
is not a bad deal for down south.
Yeah, like maybe it is. Like maybe he's like, hey, I'm with my child here at the playground. They can't play on this, but maybe their kid could play on it. So maybe I should go to council and say,
Future
hey,
generations.
I might have a child in the future. So I'd like to see if I could put in hey, this playground's a disaster, and maybe you guys could take care of it. I know you guys call it premium services that we have with these great parks. But my grandkid or my great grandkid might want to park there. So could you guys, get on that? And then it was like, hey, thanks for doing that. I know, it's been a decade since we've asked, and
My family really appreciates the duct tape for one.
Right, we really like that.
As a temporary thing.
I'm glad. Thank you for painting it. That was, matched well. I don't know how you got the color code to match and everything.
duct tape.
They painted. It's oh my god, it's just.
But
pathetic.
that was
absolutely pathetic.
That was yeah. So the playground at Mulberry Station was finally approved. It will be happening within the next few weeks. So if you live in Mulberry Station, I don't even know where that is, but it's
like right off of 42. Like when you get off, like you know where Texas Roadhouse. If you went down Expressway and you got, I'm saying 42 Expressway.
Cross Keys.
Yeah, Cross Keys Road. It's like right off there. If you got off of, if you're coming from.
Oh, is Mulberry Station behind the where the Friendlies and
Like
Tilted Kill?
Tilted Kill, yeah, back there, yeah.
Behind there. I looked at a house back there. Okay,
Yeah.
that did sound familiar. All right.
Yep. So yeah, that was that, and then we also learned that our E-Gov system is also broken, which we've gone over a couple, maybe 2 different meetings now, where someone sent in something and it just disappeared, didn't get there.
Yeah, so
wasn't sent in on time, different things. So it's happened again.
3 meetings ago, one of the guys running for council, he sent an email in, and he was just looking for some. He was looking for an opinion basically from the chief and from council on what they thought about. I guess like one of the proposed dispensaries.
It's something that was already approved. I don't know timing wise why it would be asked then, but either way, he asked the question and it was just never answered, right? And then it wasn't answered that day. So then it was like, oh well, it didn't make the cutoff, but then it also wasn't answered.
Yeah, the next meeting came by.
Week.
It was never addressed then, and then that's when he came in.
He lost his mind.
Yeah, he came in and there was a back and forth between him and Council President Mercado, and then this last council meeting, some people sent in some E-Gov questions, and they were not addressed either. So
right, so one of the residents was like, "Hey, I know I sent one in." And I also know someone else texted me and said that they sent one in because it was basically, we got no questions this week when they went to the point of the meeting where they read those questions. And I was like, wait, what happened to them?
Yeah. So yeah, here's somebody asking about this.
I think there might be something wrong with your E-Gov system because I did submit an E-Gov question on April 6th, and I'm aware that a resident submitted one today.
Okay. It is provided to me the day of the meeting. I didn't receive anything. Clerk, did you receive anything?
Not, I checked personally.
Okay, well, there were 2 submitted, so there must be something wrong.
When did you submit yours?
April 6th at 3:44 p.m. And the person that just texted me said she sent hers in today. She was planning on coming and she's ill, and she submitted hers today.
You know what time she sent hers?
I would say probably early evening, late afternoon.
4:45 today.
Yeah, 4:45.
Remember that?
Not 7.
He lost his mind that day.
Yeah, it was like 4:45 today.
4:45 today?
Yeah. So yeah, apparently 4:45 is not a good time.
Yeah.
And they just, we found out last part. They just go to heaven.
Yep.
E-Gov heaven.
E-Gov
That's where they go. So. If you want to get your E-Gov question answered, I guess it's on a Monday. Maybe send it on the weekend. I don't.
Yeah, there's no good day apparently. We've learned that our township only works since the 70s, since the fuel crisis
Monday
in
through
the 70s.
Friday?
Monday through Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, Thursday.
Yep. Friday they're closed, and then the agenda for the meeting comes out on that Thursday or Friday. So, and then there's no one in the office to answer any questions that you have until that Monday. But if you send it on that Monday, it doesn't have enough time for them to answer the question. So you figure that out. I don't know. You figure out how to get us, figure out what's on our agenda ahead of time so that we have time to answer your question. But we're not going to put the questions or put the agenda out in time for you to ask them. But then we're going to tell you that you didn't ask it in time because we couldn't research it.
Yeah, you're going to have to get
right? Yeah.
You need
wrap your head around that one, folks.
A DeLorean. You're gonna need
a DeLorean. Get to 88 miles an hour.
Yeah. Or precognition to figure out what's going to be on the agenda, so you can ask questions.
Yep.
At the same time the agenda.
Give
comes
them
out.
proper time to research it, because they don't know anything of what's going on.
No, I think it takes a lot, and with that argument from before, I still kind of hold on to. Look, they do need some time.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they don't. I'm
they
just
do.
saying
don't-
ironic the way that it's.
I feel like if you email them at 5 o'clock with a list of questions at 7:30, because I figure,
It's not fair, no.
they got day jobs for the most
But
part.
if it's on the agenda, Joe, there still should be some knowledge of it. You know what I mean?
they probably.
You can't not know everything that's to do with it, which actually comes up later on tonight. I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up later on, but
Okay.
somehow someone magically remembers something that happened months and months and months ago, but can't remember something that they voted on that night or no information about that night.
So
Either way.
yeah. So yeah, I always think of it as if if it were me up there. I'm ending my job, even now that I work from home. I end my job at 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
It's lucky if I can log off by 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then 7:30 I got to be there. So there's not a whole lot of time in between. I'm gonna grab some dinner before you go to the meeting. So I can understand them not having the information when they get there, but just to not acknowledge an email at all, it's one thing. It's a completely different other thing.
Yeah, to say it doesn't exist. We have no questions for tonight. No, you don't. You actually did. It's not no questions.
Yeah. So
You could read them and say you don't know the answer, just like you do every other time. But now all of a sudden, they don't even exist. Didn't get them.
yeah. So the next thing that was on the it wasn't on the agenda. It was just brought up. It was an E-Gov question that I think she just read.
Right. Because they were saying, well, we didn't get it, but do you have them? And she's like, no, I don't have the questions with me. That's why I sent them in on an E-Gov thing. So you had them, and you could answer them. So it was basically about the bank building. We've been talking about that bank building on the corner of Church and Black Horse Pike for a while about the grants and stuff like that.
I think 2 years.
Yeah, there was a question going around about who had with getting the grants. What were the stipulations? Did it need to be owned by the township, run by a nonprofit? What were the stipulations? So after a few weeks, I finally did get the answer back, and was clip forward here.
For the bank building, you were supposed to check to see if there was any restrictions on the ownership or the use of it.
Jake Botticello, tried indicated that it's a 10-year, and it has to be held with the township for 10 years, at least 10 years.
And is there anything in there about it being managed or run by a nonprofit?
Nonprofit, no, I believe it's by the town.
The town.
So for 10 years, it has to be owned by the town.
At least 10 years.
Okay.
So that sort of, I don't know, it still left a lot open because I'm still hung up on the whole Pittman thing and what they did.
Yeah.
Where they kind of leased, the Pittman bought the bank, they leased it out to Merriman's, and then also helped them with the liquor license.
Mm.
We know now that the township still needs to own it, which is still the same case for like Pittman.
Yeah.
But it's not really clear whether or not we can use it for other things. Like, it doesn't have to be a nonprofit as far as we know so far. It just has to be owned by the township. So,
Well, we haven't been told that it. Yeah. Either way,
yeah.
I like there was the clarifying at least 10 years. More than once brought up what? Okay, if it's 10, why not?
Wouldn't that be an exact?
Isn't that obvious? At least 10. Why did you have to clarify that it had to be at least 10? I don't know.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe it says 10 years in there, and why didn't I just say 10 years? It has to be
Right.
It has to be 10 years.
That's what I was wondering. I don't know
But
why
I
that
guess I
said
kind of get it. Maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
So there could be hope for it. If the whole black box theater thing doesn't take off and put Gloucester Township on the map, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, who knows?
We could. Maybe it'd be a good spot for pickleball.
I don't know. It's a tiny place. Look, there could be stuff
Well, look, pickleball's kind of like a. The court's as big as this table, so it's
no.
for people like us that can't move very fast. So we can put a lot of pickleball courts in a bank.
It could be something there. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's a
pickleball and brewing.
There's a town in Pennsylvania. It's called Lidditz, PA, and they have a.
They still live out there.
Did you?
Yeah, I lived in
Lidditz?
Central PA for a bit.
Okay.
Little Lidditz was once called the coolest little town in America.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they have a practice studio. So from my background of like concerts and things like that, people go there and they'll practice putting on their stadium tour or whatever it is that they're going out. And if you practice in Lidditz and then go out on tour, if you play in Pennsylvania, you get a tax credit. So like Fish every year they'll practice in Lidditz, and then if you play at least 2 dates in Pennsylvania, you get tax credit, and then they'll go back for their New Year's tour. They always do for New Year's, and then they'll practice there. So it would be something cool if our Black Box Theater did something like that, like it was able to give somebody some sort of an incentive to come and use the area. But I can't imagine what a Black Box Theater, from my understanding and my knowledge of what a Black Box Theater is, would do. But I don't know, somehow we're dead set on this Black Box Theater. I guess it's
well, the sad thing is there's enough parking for the band, basically.
what's that? You hear that?
I think it's flooding upstairs.
Oh, it's raining outside, folks. Sorry about that.
Yeah, there's enough parking at this bank for like
For me and you to go there and do a podcast.
If Fish wanted to come and practice there's enough parking for like half a Fish probably, as long as they carpool together.
Right.
So
yeah.
that would be I don't know what else you do at a Black Box Theater.
Yeah.
I've never gone to one.
It's the tipping point, though, folks. Watch. Downtown Blackwood is going to be booming because
it's going to explode because of...
It is. It's an arts district run by a government agency. And
man,
screams
nothing
art.
Wants to get me out more than that right now.
The government doing art.
Yeah, government art.
Please.
It kind of in the one of the same things that we've been talking about forever is the Lakeland Connector Trail and
the
trails,
villages of
trails,
Gloucester,
the villages of Gloucester, trails in general. The Lakeland Connector Trail, nobody really knows why it came up, what the benefit of it is.
There are many theories, and it has all to do with making other people rich and on the back of taxpayers. But there's no real answers. No one can give an answer. Just dancing around the question.
It was
that was asked again during this meeting. We're not going to play a clip of it. I feel like we've played this out almost to this point. I mean, it's not
probably about 30 hours of podcast. Of people asking the questions about this trail and adding connectors onto it, and people saying, well, "Who does this benefit?" Well, you're adding this part on now. Who does this benefit? And it's the answer's clear to everybody else that's paying attention, but they won't say the answer.
right.
So it's that was brought up again.
You're a conspiracy theorist and hate poor people
There was
who ask questions.
when it's what you get.
I'm very disappointed. I'm getting word salad here, and I don't even have dressing.
That's what you get when you ask the
Yep.
questions about the trail.
Get a word salad.
You get a lot of word salad, and then you don't get any answers, and you think, I don't even know why I went up there and asked the question.
Right.
So nothing. If you've tuned in for Lakeland Connector Trail, there's nothing on that one. So
Yeah, nothing new. Same crap.
and then oh man,
We did have some returning, I don't want to say characters, but returning, what's the word I'm looking for, Joe?
oh yeah, yeah.
It was an interesting one. With some...
You just gonna start? You just go right clip.
Do it.
I clip it.
Here it comes.
I hate to bring up some back news and some bad news, but back in January 23rd was the last meeting I was here. My mother's dying of frontal portal dementia, and I've been dealing with that, and I haven't been able to be here. And but I've been keeping up on things, big time. And
Big time.
I decided I was going to run for council, but I decided not to. I decided to become an activist again, like I was in Stratford when I passed all the state legislation and got all the porno stores and the adult bookstores and everything out for 10 years of my life. I passed State Senate Bill 32. So on the PBA planning board, I have it on my phone. on December 27th, there was a secret meeting, like I told you before, but I couldn't find it. I'm gonna bring it back up because I have it on my thing.
I'd like you to play that recording of the meeting that I allegedly attended that I was there.
I'm not gonna play the recording, I'm gonna show you your signature.
You said I was in a meeting.
No, it was a secret meeting on December 27th, and you signed the bill. You signed to pass the bill and this was a secret meeting that was held on December 27th by
Just went
you,
straight past the
the
microphone.
mayor, and Nancy.
Joe, she
You wanna
walked
see
around
it?
the entire
Oh,
dais there.
you told me you had a recording the last time you were here.
I have it on.
You don't have a recording because I wasn't in the meeting on December
Did you sign
26th.
this?
No, we have a good idea where you were though, but that's a whole nother. The last time she was there had to be almost a year ago. He remembers that she said that he had a recording of her, but he can't remember anything else about stuff that he wasn't given proper time.
Was she dressed like Carmen Sandiego when she was there last time?
I don't know.
I don't know, because I would have remembered.
Yeah, yeah, but it was a long, interesting, back and forth.
Well, there's a lot to take in there, and I don't even know where to start.
A secret meeting.
What one amazing way to coordinate your outfit?
She's alleging that something happened on a certain date because there was supposedly a resolution or something signed. Where if you look at any paperwork like those like there's like a stamp almost of people's names. Like, okay, here's the mayor's name,
Yeah.
council president. Here's the council members. Whatever. This happened, so I believe she took that information and is saying, this happened on this date. You didn't advertise this publicly, but it might just be the date that they did something. But I feel like December 27th, I feel like there was an actual meeting on the 27th, wasn't there?
There was one.
That was like
right
a council
after,
meeting. Like,
there was one like right after Christmas, and
Yeah.
I feel like it was like 2 days after Christmas.
yeah, that's what I feel like too. So I don't know what she's referring to here, but she believes something secret happened. But more importantly, Orlando, the council president, remembered that she had a recording. She didn't bring up the recording. He brought the recording up. That he remembered, but other things he can't remember anything. He doesn't know anything.
I
don't know
remember
why
talk of a secret meeting before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, we've been doing this, I don't know, like, since I started going down this rabbit hole of local politics, I've heard a lot of crazy stuff.
Right.
And a lot of crazy theories, and I seem to remember all of them most of the time. So I did remember secret meetings
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and yeah,
I do remember another secret meeting that they accused a resident of having a recording of, and they called it an illegal recording.
yes. Yeah, but that meeting actually did happen.
That did.
Yeah, that was a very credible person. But yeah, I've heard. Yeah, there's also didn't know that porno shops
I think that was a problem.
were a problem in Stratford. Was it Stratford, right?
Yeah.
So I guess.
I'm sorry, I don't frequent them, so I don't know if there's any around. I don't even know Stratford. I mean, I kind of know Stratford's like next to Somerdale, right? And then like, are
Yeah,
there
yeah.
porno
I
shops
guess
there? I can't even picture something like that.
I'm trying to think of what's like Stratford, like Echelon Ford would be Stratford, right?
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, Stratford Firehouse is right there. The old
Yeah.
Checkers.
And
There's
then
like
across the old Checkers, and then
Pep Boys is around there.
I guess Pep Boys is probably Stratford.
Are there porno shops there?
I don't even know what a porno shop is.
Well, there can't be, Joe, because she stopped them for 10
She
years.
stopped them, and well, I didn't.
Senate Bill
I didn't,
32, I think she said.
32. I wonder. I should have looked that up.
Yeah, I didn't look it up either.
I
But
failed you guys. I should have looked that up. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Maybe I don't know. Maybe so. I left Jersey in 2006. I didn't come back until 2016.
that could have been during that time period.
There was probably rampant porno shops here,
Probably.
and
But back to Gloucester Township, though, even more importantly, Joe, there's hookah shops. We have play.
Oh no.
Clip 6.
Yeah.
There's a unmercantile licensed hookah shop that you can smoke hookahs.
You can get COVID that way too.
Go ahead.
Okay, now I'm gonna switch real quick. and I'll
Okay.
get
What's she
to
doing up
next
there?
week.
All right.
Called the Black Diamond Hookah Lounge. There's no mercantile license. It's been running for 6 years. It's not in business. The township clerk, Lorraine Baker, wrote on 4/5/23, which I was in her office with her. We were notified of the Black Diamond Lounge is operating without a business license and is in Gloucester Township. Okay? So there's nothing there, but it's all over Google. It's all over advertising. They sell big hookah bowls that you can go in from 10 till 12 in the night. Okay, and then you could have private parties until 3 or 4 in the morning, and you can do whatever you want in there.
That sounds
It's a
amazing.
separate business from the puff and smoke. Yeah, at your meeting on January 23rd, you were trying to pass another cannabis store in 2001 College Drive. That's the same address. So why would you try to pass another cannabis store in that same College Drive when they have a hookah lounge where they sell marijuana in that other store, puff and smoke? They put it in the hookah bowls, and it's a health issue because you got airborne TB where 2 people can smoke in that hookah bowl. You got COVID. You got any kind of diseases that 2 people can get when 2 people are smoking out of a hookah bowl.
Some people really don't like some things that are like that happen
People
in the world.
lose their mind over stuff that has nothing to do with them.
I don't care
For
what
one-
other people do as long as they don't bother me, right?
A
And
hookah
that's-
shop is not putting pot in their hookah.
No.
They can't. They can't. Legally, they can't. And if they were, they get busted because they don't have a license to do so. So I seriously doubt. I don't even know. I don't know.
It's
what this
probably
place
a
is.
misunderstanding, a misconception of what that is. Maybe optically it looks like they must be smoking drugs or something like. They must be taking the pot.
You know, taking the pot.
Or something along those lines, right?
I-
But it's not like have you ever been to like a Mediterranean like restaurant or something that has hookahs and like have
No.
been to a hookah lounge? I've done it before. It's just like tobacco that's put in there. It's nothing
Yeah.
illegal about
There's
it.
a great pizza place that I would go to when I worked in Center City, and like on the weekends it turned into a hookah place.
Right.
It was a pizza place, but on the weekends it was a hookah place, and it was semi interesting. I don't know. I've never done hookah, but it was but it was
Right.
like it apparently like hookah is basically it's as healthy for you as 20 cigarettes. It's like
Right.
one in one shot.
Right.
So I kind of was like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah.
So, but
But the point of it is it's not what one might think that it is, right? And it's not illegal. They have. Yeah.
still, who cares? Who cares if it's porn and hookah? If that's what you want to go do, you're not hurting anybody else.
Yeah.
So these people they get so fired up about stuff that they don't morally approve of themselves. They get fired up on it, and I've got to end this for the township.
everyone, yeah.
Thanks, lady. We don't need you to end this for the township. Some people want to do it. Look, if you're not taking other people's stuff and you're not hurting people,
Right.
let them live their lives. They do what they want to do. I don't know. It's the same, and I feel the same way about like the pot stores coming in. Now I don't
Right.
want the entire township full of pot stores, but what if there's a lot of pot stores? I don't care. I've generally seen like the one over on Cross Keys Road and the one in Belmar.
Like
Go
Curaleaf. one?
yeah, look online. They're like beautiful facilities. It's not like I don't. There's not it's like people. Sure, there's long lines and stuff like that, but I generally haven't heard anything negative about these places.
Yeah,
So-
but it's just one of those topics that fire people up, man. They get really defensive and irritated about it.
Speaking of which, I just saw that an article today. Curaleaf might be losing its recreational license.
I did see that too. Yeah, the board, the commission, or what's it called, the marijuana commission or
Yeah.
whatever. So what Jeff Nash, his wife is all. I don't know if she's the chair, but she's on that commission, And yeah, there was something about that. It was like a retaliation thing where they're not renewing their their license
I guess they made
for
a
the
decision.
for the what do you call it, the recreational side.
Yeah.
But the medical side they still would have, I believe, what I read.
Yeah, so I guess they made now they went into Winslow a while ago when they were gonna do cultivation in Winslow, and it was they never really said they were going to move production over there, but that's kind of what they did. They got the cultivation right now in Belmar along with the store, and they were going to move
What is
a flood upstairs. And they were moving the cultivation part over to Winslow, which I imagine is probably.
Well, I think we were talking about this before. There's like a bigger facility for them or something.
Yeah, I guess it's a bigger facility. Winslow's in a bigger area. There's a lot more places you can build
Right,
into, and I believe they built that facility in Winslow. So they laid off a bunch of people in Belmar. It was supposed to be
Right.
up to like 40 people they were going to lay off, and I guess now they're getting penalized from the state and saying that they may not be able to renew their recreational license.
Right.
Which I don't know. I mean, look, if you build a bigger
But it was made
facility
illegal,
somewhere else,
though. It was made legal, but somehow they're now not. They have to get approved for it again. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
I
something
don't-
going on there. We don't know the
I don't-
in and outs of it, but
I don't get it. It doesn't seem. Look, if a company wants to lay people off and then build a bigger facility, that's just business. I mean, that's just
Right.
what businesses do. You can't penalize them. So I don't understand that, but
You know what you could do with business? If you're in Gloucester Township and you're in business with them, you could advertise for them.
oh man,
Just for no reason. Just yeah.
that's a weird thing. Yeah. So on Gloucester Township's Facebook page, they
Their
finally
official Facebook page.
yeah they finally unblocked me from most of their stuff.
Oh, so now you can see things. That's
I can see stuff. I can see the stuff from the police department. Never talking anything bad about them really. But then Gloucester Township,
Yeah.
I can see their stuff.
Well, congratulations.
I saw a post. They still blocked the official Restore GT page from seeing their stuff. So when I'm logged in as that, I can't see them. But
Okay.
they did. I saw an ad for an apartment for new apartments, and it's something I pay attention to. My wife has been in property management and real estate for a long time, so she was a she has worked at an apartment complex in Gloucester Township, so it sticks out. And I saw Gloucester Township advertising for a new apartment complex. I guess it's being built off the Black Horse Pike over by Skeeters.
Yeah. I forget the name of it. It's like something Hill, Windy Hill, or
Yeah, like pictures of the
Something like that.
rooms and like a whole big typed out, promotion for this apartment complex.
right.
And I thought, why?
That's odd. A public entity, a public Facebook page for the township advertising for a private company.
For a private company in an
Odd.
area that's generally kind of owned by Friends of Gloucester Township. Kind of
Yeah.
and I thought, that's weird.
Well, someone we
It's
know.
not like, it's not like the township. It would be cool if the township was like, hey, check out Holy Tomato. Have you?
Right.
You've never been there. Here's what they have to offer, or the biscuit company. Something like that. Just advertise, do stuff like that. But
Right.
out of nowhere, just this advertisement for this new apartments coming in. And I'm thinking, like, these people just spent millions of dollars building these apartments.
Right.
They don't need you to advertise for them.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just another apartment.
Another
complex
question
too.
mark saying, what the heck?
Yeah, immediately you got to think. I wonder what their connection is with the owner of this apartment complex. And
Well, someone we know actually reached out to answer the ad, and saying, oh, okay, I'll call the number and find out what it is. And from what I gathered from what this person called, and they said that there's preferential treatment for like a reservation of a house or like to get a house if you are a triad employee who is a pay-to-play vendor in the town, or if you were like a teacher or a municipal employee, which was interesting. So
That
How
is
do they get,
interesting. Yeah.
preferential treatment? But that's what this person was told. So they're like, "Oh, are you an employee of Triad?"
Wow. There's
Employee of
a
the-
connection right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Triad. Wow, man.
So
I didn't realize
that was
that.
interesting. But
Yeah, a lot more apartments coming in too.
Yeah.
We've got apartments coming in off of right off of the outlets too, right off of Route 42.
Mhm.
Those were just on.
and a hotel there, I believe it's a 100 and something
Yeah.
unit hotel.
That's not a bad spot, really, because it was, when we were looking for, last year during our wedding, we had a lot of people come in from out of town, out of state, and the Hampton filled up in Turnersville right away, and I thought, so the rest of the people were they were scattered out, and I thought,
Yeah.
I was shocked that the Hampton filled up, but I guess there's a lot of decent venues around here for weddings and stuff like that, so I guess there is a need for hotels.
Yeah, well, when we have multi-million-dollar soccer fields and baseball fields and everything else around here, people are traveling. Hockey, things. People travel and need somewhere to stay. You're gonna verse the team from Pittsburgh. Where's this family gonna stay, or where's this one? We have things that are envy of. Major league sports. The Lincoln Financial Field's like, wow, they got really nice fields over there.
Yeah, the Eagles are like, we don't need no.
Look at the taxpayers are like, I'm broke. I can't even afford coffee in the morning. But yeah, we have them, so we could have what do they call hotels out there? But,
Yeah, more apartments coming in too. That's been a topic that's going around social media quite a bit now. Is I don't know, but people are on one side or the other. Some of us see apartments and we think, man, we're cramming a lot more people into a smaller space in a state that's already the most population dense in the country. So
is it really? Is that what it is?
New Jersey is, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's the most densely populated state in the country. So we're cramming more people into a smaller area, and then it's a tax on everything local. So, those people have to go to schools, and then those people drive cars, so it's traffic, it's schools.
Yeah, when you use the word tax there, you're saying it's more of a drain, not a
more
tax.
more of a drain and less of a tax income, because when you start stacking people up 3 and 4 high, there's less tax income coming from there. But it's, I don't know, but you can't. It's one of those. It's one of those third rails you can't talk about, because it's immediately when you start, people say, "Oh, you don't like poor people. You've got a house now by yourself, and now you don't remember the days you lived in an apartment." It's like, no, I do, but I just, I don't look I don't want an apartment next to my house. That's my opinion, and it's even renters. Like, I've had renters living next to my house. They generally don't take care of the house as well as homeowners do.
Right. This is why there's towns that have ordinances around renting, and there's homeowners associations that prevent that type of thing, because it brings in a different clientele than what somebody purchased their house. Then they're trying to protect their investment or what they spent for, and that's what our government is supposed to be doing to us too, right? They're supposed to protect our home values and and those things, and that's what you're saying here is when that apartment complex comes and moves right in next to your thing, or a warehouse comes and moves right next to your brand new home, that affects your home's value, and your government just basically screwed you by not protecting that.
Yeah, so you look at it, it's a great example. So the house that I live in it's a cookie cutter house. It's made by my house is made by Ryan Homes. You can find this house anywhere.
Everywhere.
I've got a friend in Indiana that is the same house I do.
Right.
So
it's like the Sears catalog back in the day, where he's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna order a house that'll be here later.
Yeah,
and literally order it out of a magazine.
A friend in Indiana has this same house that he just sold, and I was like, that's the same house. And I've looked at this same house in like Delaware, and
I've
also the house that's like next to my friend's house in Williamstown.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same house. And then I've looked at the exact same house in Sewell. So, like, I mean, exactly the same. So I can see what my house is valued at and what they're valued at.
Right.
So my house in Williamstown and my house in Sewell, ridiculously more expensive over there. These are the property values over there. Now, what don't they have? They don't have this dense population and apartments and stuff like that. They've got a lower tax rate,
Right.
higher property values, and they're not surrounded by apartments. So if you people think this doesn't matter, it does matter. And I know there's an argument that people need some place to live.
They absolutely
I'm sure they
yeah.
do. They do. But look, at some point, I left the state because for a while there, it was like I thought it was impossible to buy a house, and I got a great job out in Maryland, and I went out and I moved to southern Pennsylvania. I was out there for a while, and then when I came back, my career was decent. I came back, and I could afford to live around my family again. Look, maybe it's just not. It's not an affordable state, really.
Right.
But we don't need to keep throwing in.
It's not an
more
excuse to
apartments
keep
everywhere.
it unaffordable and then not try to keep it as
That's the
affordable
thing,
as
too.
it could be.
When you start looking at what's affordable, so they're going to build these new apartments, and what are the new apartments going to cost? $2,000 a month, $2,500 a month to
Right.
live in these things.
Yeah.
That's not affordable.
Yeah.
So,
I just had this conversation today with a couple people, and they're talking about their apartments. Did you know like a 1-bedroom apartment around here was like a $1,200 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment? Like, that's insane. Like,
yeah, my wife worked at Autumn Ridge, which is right on College Drive, and I'm pretty sure as low as she could get for an apartment, I think you could get a studio for $1,100.
yeah.
I think maybe get a 1-bedroom for like $1,200. I think
That's
I
crazy.
think that's what it was. Yeah, that's Jersey now. I mean, that's just.
But that same person couldn't qualify for a mortgage, but they're able to pay that there. It's insane the way. Well, we could talk about this
Yeah.
topic for forever. This is a really long.
But that's
one
the thing.
we could-
I mean, that's the thing. When you
But why is our town advertising apartments? Is basically the bottom line, right?
well, they're so if it to me it feels like they're going to sell us out to the biggest builder for apartments or warehouses or whatever they can get to come in. Whoever owns that land that they know, they're just going to sell
Yeah.
that off, and that's just. I mean, it's just.
Well, they're supposed to be protecting us and our values.
Yeah, so it was a weird. I wanted to comment on it really bad, but I don't want to get blocked again.
Yeah,
So
you didn't want to do that.
I wanted to ask, but I don't want to get blocked again.
Yeah.
And then you were
So,
you
yeah.
were not in a park.
No, so
Recently?
recently that I've noticed, and I notice a lot of things, and then I dwell on them. Not dwell, but I just see how they progress. Well, one thing that's kind of irked me recently is at the intersection where 42 lets off onto Blackwood Clementon Road and Church Street, like right there. It is so dark that I've literally almost hit 3 different people in the last few months. And it's been like this for over a year. Because the first time that I was running for school board, which wasn't this past time, it was like two times ago, it was just as dark. It's been like this for a while. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to document. I'm going to see there's street lights all over that area there. I can see them. But at nighttime, there's nothing lit up, right? So I, took my camera out like you guys have seen me do before. I documented it. I went out there and I found there's 14 traffic lights within like the size of like maybe a football field. And none of them worked. So I went on, I said, okay, it says on our township's website, if you take the tag number that's on the pole and put it in here, we'll get it fixed. If it's not fixed within 2 weeks, then contact the mayor's office. So I go to do that. Now, remind you, there's 14 lights that need to be reported. Once you report a light, the cookies and the thing remember that you've already done that, and you're not allowed to report another thing. So the Blue Wire Media, whoever it is that we pay $9,000 a month for, don't have it built in that, hey, it's possible that this one person might actually report more than one traffic light. or one light being out.
You just can't be a good citizen.
You can't be a good citizen. You can't actually report them. You can report once, and then that's it. So the only other option after you do that is to send an email to the mayor's office through that. So I did that. I listed out a whole bunch of traffic lights that are on there. Told the whole story. Say I was almost killed trying to get these numbers for you guys, trying to run through the dark to go, get the numbers of the poles. But anyway, so I did a little video here. So here. Just watch and see how dark this area is here. Do we have?
Oh yeah, I was blown away when I just watched this.
All right, so this is the exit
intersection here at Blenheim Area Road and Blackwood Clementon Road, Church Street. So if we look off in the distance, we got right over there, right there, right there, and right there are all street lights. And if we go back this way here, there is another street light right up over here. And none of these work at nighttime. So we're going to come back later on at night and see.
This is just one side of this trail here.
And on this side of 42, we have a few traffic lights, or street lights too. There's one up here. There's one right over on that side. This pole here has one. And there's another one right over here on the top of that pole. And I don't believe any of these work either. But the thing is, on these metal poles, there's supposed to be a number on the pole to report that
they all have like a tag or a number.
These don't have pole numbers. Only the ones that you can see there is a number plate that's on there. So only the wooden poles.
Huh.
In addition to the street lights, if we look up here, there's another light there, and then up here there's another light that's supposed to be up on top of that pole, but it's broken off. Another one there. On this side of the street we have a walkway, sidewalk.
Yeah, so people use this to get back and forth between the neighborhood and like
underneath of the
commerce
Walked
going.
under here before, yeah.
The dark bridge over here at nighttime. There's that street light. It's completely hanging off, not even there.
Somebody called me a Karen for doing this.
Now, all these lights I've reported a couple weeks back on the township's website,
So I didn't realize
but
that.
they're not the best at getting back to you on
Yeah.
if they're fixed or not, what to do. It just says contact the mayor's office again in 2 weeks, and the mayor's office never gets back. So that's why I'm documenting all this, to put it out there. Maybe they'll respond this way. So under the bridge here, that's that one light that we saw earlier. And there's another side.
Yeah, just
You
like a
can see
wire.
there's a spot for another light that was up there that's been removed and just hanging off the wall. And just to note how long it's been since somebody took care of this under here, that's a weed right there. That's not a tree. Nobody planted a tree there. That's a weed.
It's true. That's a weed.
But yeah, underneath of this is pitch black at nighttime.
Power wash that.
I've almost hit 3 people in the last few months at nighttime.
Looking.
But these lights aren't fixed. I mean, this is a safety hazard. A really bad safety hazard.
All right, so now it's
So
nighttime.
back out here again,
I never realized this was
it
this
is
dark.
pitch black. So
Well,
one
after I
light does
reported,
work
this light
over
here
there.
got fixed.
This one obviously is not on. One over there is not on.
That one wasn't
up
even
here
on.
is not on. And only car headlights are the only lights that are around this area here.
Yeah, I mean it's so dark you can't see anything. If you're a pedestrian walking,
I remember this area when I was putting election signs out.
right? That's what I mean. Look at it, how dark it is. The other side's a little bit brighter.
I think it was even dangerous back in 2021.
So the light we saw
That's what I'm
underneath
saying,
the tunnel here is
Well,
not
that's-
working.
Yeah, none of the lights under there were.
Over here not working.
That one became working again after I reported it. But this whole area is completely
It's
pitch
just
black.
pitch black over here. I mean, it's been a couple weeks since I reported those other lights being out, so a couple have been repaired, but it's still like unacceptably dark over here.
Nice section of potholes right there. You just
It is, yeah.
It's over here. It looks like 2 of these lights are working again now, but there is still one right behind this wooden telephone pole one. This one here is still out. On the other side of the street over there, still out. You can't report these.
Yeah, it's insane.
Wow, that is a lot. You know the off ramp there, because I remember putting election signs out there because they would get taken overnight basically. So I'd be out there and I was thinking like, this is the dumbest thing I could possibly ever do.
Oh yeah,
because you can't see at all in there.
Yeah,
and then there's cars flying off there, and that was But I didn't. I was thinking like, as a whole, it just felt dark. But I was so in the moment of getting out and like jamming a sign into the ground.
Yeah.
But to really look around and see, there's no lights here.
Right. Well,
but yet there is a lot of lights there.
That I'm pretty good at that. Like seeing like an overall like picture of things, and I'm like, this is bad here. It's insanely bad. And one of the things your town's supposed to be doing, like we're saying, protecting your property taxes. How about protecting people that are pedestrians on the sidewalk? We paid thousands and thousands of dollars to engineers that do street lighting, and something was recommended to put there, which is why it's there, and it's not working. Is that acceptable?
I like that.
So say somebody hit somebody right there, and they couldn't see that person there. Could they sue the town because now they've been put on alert? Like, hey, your lights are out over here. Or is it the PSE&G's responsibility to put the light up there? The towns are to maintain lights? There's 14 lights, and there's now 4 working out of 14. So if you do the math on that, that's the same, percentage of working lights as we have someone in attendance at council meetings.
Oh, we haven't mentioned Stubbs.
Yeah,
we forgot to mention Stubbs.
Yeah.
If you were keeping track, Stubbs is not at this meeting.
Yeah.
She's not going to be at any meeting from now until
December, basically.
Well, forever, because she's not coming back pretty much. But yeah, it's April. She's clearly going to be gone until January until we find somebody else. But we're still going to pay her for that. But yeah, the same percentage of attendance as we have as working lights.
Interesting, huh?
So, man, I know our friends on council. They watch this podcast.
Yeah. How long do you think it'll take to get this fixed of it? Now that the embarrassment's out there,
it's probably
or it won't just out of spite
for
because
spite.
we're saying
For spite,
yeah.
they're not gonna do it for spite. But at least now you're aware. And look,
now everybody else can see it too. Now you'll take note of it.
If Grandma gets run over because she's walking under the bridge and nobody saw her.
Yep.
At least
just know it has been reported. They've been on notice.
You've got this document in here that Park Ranger Keith was out there and he made sure that there's the lights aren't working. So look, if you need somebody on your side legally, Keith can stop by. He can attest to it.
I can provide you proof.
He's got the proof, and I suppose now that I just reported on
notice,
I got to go to court now too.
Yeah,
so,
you're on court.
Yeah. An old trip to Camden. So
yeah, that's pretty much it though that we had for this this podcast here. Right? Do we have anything else to go over? I don't think so.
No, that was it. Man, yeah, I had so much I thought about before the podcast.
Well, we did. There was a thing at Washington Township recently just happened a night or two ago.
Was that a carnival or something?
Yeah, there was so this is a good one because people on Facebook were saying there was shootings happened at the carnival, and then the police came out on their Facebook page and said, "Nope, those shots that you heard were not actual gunshots. There was just fights broke out, and it was all kids from out of town. It wasn't your kids. It wasn't Washington Township's kids." And I found it ironic because my daughter's friends that were at the carnival sent her videos with people with guns at the carnival. So I saw it with my own eyes. I saw kids with guns, and the police are telling you, no, there were no guns there. So they just gaslight you everywhere you go, whether it's Washington Township, Gloucester Township. You're just gaslit, and you didn't see that. No, those lights aren't out at the the intersection over there. No, they're not out.
It's not legal to have a gun in New Jersey, basically.
No, yeah, you can't own a gun in New Jersey. You're nuts.
They definitely didn't have them. It's not legal.
Yeah, but it was just what their answer to that was to shut down the carnival completely just not do it. And I thought,
Oh,
to
did they
myself,
just
I'm like,
end it?
oh yeah, they just ended the carnival. Well, obviously that night people scattered and ran like like crazy, but tonight or Saturday night or whatever it was the I guess it was the last night of it, but they shut it down and didn't have it come back on again. And I thought to myself, I'm like, I mean, you're saying the best action is we can't handle keeping a crowd on.
So you had a little bit of a power blip there, and
yeah, I don't know what that was, but
shut everything off. But yeah. So back to this carnival at
the Washington Township. What I left off, what I feel like I remember leaving off was the town thought that the best course of action to keep people safe was to shut down the carnival and not have it anymore. So I guess in the same respect, they're saying that they're not able to keep people safe. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but it sounds like they're telling them they're safe. Oh, no threat here.
Right, there's no threat. It wasn't your kids. There was nothing. Property values will stay exactly the same.
Yeah, yeah, they were using party favors. They were definitely not guns. They were just party favors.
Yeah.
Those pops that you heard that sounded like gunfire was not gunfire. And then, but by the way, no more carnival for you guys.
Yeah, no, can't have
That's
it.
the strangest thing. I
don't know. I thought it was a little odd. I mean, I get it on one side, but on the other side, it's just like, really? That we can't do any better? We can't keep people more safe? We couldn't come up with any other safety plan to keep people in line. There's no fencing. We can't call for temp fence to come around the thing. We can't have a rule put in place where if you're under 18, you need to be accompanied by an adult. There's literally nothing. There's nothing. It's just cancel it. We are incompetent enough to be able to keep this under control and keep everyone safe. And people are okay with that. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
That's weird.
I would want if people showed up at a carnival from out of town, out of state, maybe possibly even. I know, like the Runnymede Carnival that we had, they were I guess from Philly. They were coming over and starting fights in there. And
this was not this. This was
last year.
Past,
This
right?
was was last year's carnival in Runnymede that got shut down at the church.
Okay.
They were
on Evesham Road.
Yeah, they were apparently from like Philly that came over that started these fights. I mean, if that's the same thing that happened in Washington Township. But if they had guns, or something like that, or if there was that level of violence, people need to know. It doesn't look good on you, and it doesn't make people feel great.
Wait, but you can't gaslight people and say it didn't happen.
I'm sure
it happened.
People are going to say, people are probably going to freak out and say, why were there people with guns at our carnivals? And now what are we going to do now? You can't tell them it didn't happen if it did happen. I mean, look, it's transparency. It's what we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. I don't
Being
know.
kept in the dark, folks.
Man, I wanted to move there next.
Should be a theme around
not
here.
so much. I got to keep go somewhere else, I guess now.
Yeah, pick somewhere else. We already know Gloucester Township has told us once you leave Gloucester Township, you are no longer safe. Right? You're only safe here.
Yeah, your catalytic converters definitely aren't safe here. I've gotten that from family members that have had their catalytic converters.
It's funny you said that. There's at the aerial firehouse. There's a car on its side, right? That they do like testing.
Catalytic converter and
the
stuff?
catalytic converter's still in that one, but yet they've stolen it off of like buses from the bus yard and like people's cars in parking lots. The car that literally like you didn't stand up, you didn't have to lay on the ground to go under there and saw it off. It's literally up. It's still on there.
What? I guess.
It's funny.
I bet if it were facing the other way.
Away from the street?
Maybe away from the street. Somebody could probably come up there and take it off. But, man, it's a good practice. I'm just going to make some extra money on the side. I'm going to go over and practice after the podcast and see if we can take it off.
Oh, my God.
It's funny when family members of mine leave their car at a shop in Gloucester Township and then it gets ripped off and they're like, what's wrong with your town, dude?
Yeah.
I'm like, look, it's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
That was happening at the outlets.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Like, the people that work there, like, during the day. Folks, if somebody saw, like, under a car, stop them.
Yeah, say something? I don't know.
Yeah, do something.
Crazy.
But, yeah, people will report somebody for anything.
Yep.
but not if they're sawing the bottom out of a car
I'm
in
not.
a
I'm not
parking
getting
lot.
involved in that. I don't know what's going
They're
on.
like, it's they're probably just fixing that car.
Yeah.
No,
It's
that's
a
not how it
mobile
works.
service, I'm sure.
Yes.
They probably called them out
Yeah,
here to
they're
get
just-
rid of it.
It's Meineke. They're just putting a whole new exhaust system on that car while that person's shopping at Adidas over in the outlets.
It's like what's that? Get the light, the window place, Safe Light.
Safe Light, yeah.
Safe Light
They just-
repairs.
yeah, they just
That's probably Safe Light, I guess. They're doing kind of like converters.
Safe Light. They're putting on exhaust. They're putting exhaust systems in cars these days. Oh, folks. Well, yeah. Well, while you still live here, subscribe to this podcast if you could.
Yeah.
There's a little subscribe button down below if you're watching the video. Like
on
it
the
if you found
notifications,
anything at all worthy of liking this podcast. Turn on notifications too. We just
We're not as regular as we could be, but we try to do it every other week. Get it,
yeah,
you know?
we can't get a solid date down. A lot of people have asked before, what date do you do? I'd like to stop by and check it out. It varies, so it's best to turn on notifications that you find out. There will be a post once every 2 weeks. It's just the day that it comes out. It's always different. So if you haven't already, check out restoredgt.com for any other articles, any podcasts, even the township
Information,
stuff.
information about the town and different links, to
There's-
easily navigate to instead of it being buried and hidden onto a website.
If somebody asks on social media for some particular thing, I usually just wind up throwing it on Restore GT because because our website's so tough to navigate for the township. Restore GT is just a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for
this
checking us out,
episode.
folks, and we will
See
probably
you next
talk to you
time.
again in about a week or two. So, see you then.
See ya.